Steph, I know it's very early, but to be 2-0 to get through this one and the way you guys did, how are you feeling about this start?
I mean, there's 80 games left, so you kind of understand you don't want to get too ahead of yourself, but building blocks on an understanding of how to win, the selflessness of a team that can have 8 or 9 guys in a closing lineup, realistically. I was telling somebody, I don't think that closing lineup, Al, Jimmy, Draymond, JK, and myself had gotten any real reps in training camp. But when you understand who you're playing against and what it takes to win this particular game, the collective IQ and just toughness got us over the hump. So great start. Haven't done anything yet, but we're building a winning mentality.
I was going to say, what did you think worked about that group? It's a pretty big group. I don't know who the shooting guard on that group is. What went well for that group?
I mean, Aaron Gordon had an unbelievable night shooting the ball. So we tried to keep some size on him. And then, Al, we've seen it again, playing against him for years. He's pretty good switching 1 through 5. And so it allowed us a little bit more versatility on defense to just, keep a man on the ball and not have to be in crazy rotations. Obviously, they scored some points, but then on the other end, we were just really decisive on getting to our spots. We only had 8 turnovers in a game, overtime game. And so if you get shots up, you don't give, a special team like Denver easy baskets in transition, then you give yourself a good chance.
Hey, Steph, are these early season wins important? Now, obviously, any win's important, but to kind of avoid the late season rush that you guys had, the hard push last year?
I'll let you know after game 30 because I answered that last year.
Also, you noticed that Jimmy missed a free throw tonight and you didn't?
I can neither confirm nor deny anything that's going on with free throw situations this year.
Steph, Steve Kerr has mentioned when it comes to turnovers, spacing has a lot to do with it. Obviously, like you said, only 8 turnovers tonight. I guess what did you guys think? What did you think of your guys' spacing tonight, and how was it different from the preseason and even the game in LA?
We've been working on an identity offensively that no matter where you're at on the floor, you kind of have actions that you can go to, and we have patterns that we're developing. Al hit some 2 big threes, I think, in the second half, maybe in the fourth quarter in overtime, where he's spacing the corner. We get a drive down the lane, JK following the help to the basket. You got to pick your poison on that. And so as long as we are, like you said, organized and decisive and not in a rush, then we have options all over the floor. So it's nice to play that way. When it's not really choreographed, it's just patterns that you rely on.
Gordon hits that 3 late in regulation to go up 3. Are you going into that next possession just, thinking first, moment that you get space, you're firing up the 3, or how did that kind of develop?
Because I missed that layup, and then we were up 1. No.
He hit the 3 to go, I think it was 120, 117, and then you hit the deep one to tie it.
Oh, we were up 1, I missed, and he hit a 3, and then went up. No, you're right. It was tied. So our pick and roll was just trying to get them to either get 2 on the ball, and then I could either get the pocket pass or get around. And that one I was able to kind of do a little snake, and I saw just a little bit of daylight. Again, decisiveness, no second guessing what you're doing, just trying to get a clean look. Thankfully went in, and then that last one was just good chemistry between me and Draymond.
What did you think about Gordon's night?
It was ridiculous. And whatever he did this summer, it worked.
Will Richard played some big minutes tonight. Steve Kerr said it's a show-me kind of league. What has he been able to show so early on into the season?
There's something about, winning players at whatever level. He's a champion for a reason down there in Florida. We saw with LJ in the preseason, guys who played some significant high-stakes basketball in college. Like, that still matters. I know the league has gotten younger in the draft, but when you find a guy like that that just understands basketball, he sees the game really well. He's fearless. The lights aren't too bright for him, so he knows he's got a lot of growth ahead of him. But for him to make his presence felt like that jump ball, 50-50 ball, come down, hit a three, start talking, rebounds he got, like all that stuff matters because it lifts the whole group. So it's pretty special to watch him, in preseason and these last two games do his thing.
Steph, you got fouled on that three, and when you get up, you really summon the crowd, and they really responded. How much do you just feed off of this home crowd here in your 17th season?
Some people like a little quiet at the free throw line. I don't like that. When a foul happens, it kind of gets a little dead, and you time and score, like that was a cool moment. So needed that energy to finish the game.
I mean, do you consider yourself a showman, and just in terms of like playing in front of the home crowd and putting on a show for Chase?
I just like to have fun, no matter what the situation is. So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Steph, I guess even at your more advanced age, you're still considered the babyface assassin. What did it mean to you to see Aaron Gordon have basically the game of his life? He scores 50 points on opening night for them, and they still don't win the game.
He played his out of his mind. I'm sure, when you're in that kind of zone, I don't know how he talk about it. He probably expects it just because of the work he put in over the summer. But for a championship-type team like they are, a team that has a lot of continuity from year to year, and then you have a guy like that play the way he did, and for us to still win, like that says a lot about where we're at right now. But it also says we got a lot of work to do to, keep doubling down on just finding a way to win no matter what the situation is. It's kind of like a playoff-type vibe where somebody has an out-of-body experience and you dig deep and, steal one pretty much. And that says a lot about what we're trying to do.
Hey, Steph, you're an important face of the league. How concerned are you about what happened today and just how it might impact the NBA's integrity?
I think on the whole, everybody's very mindful of, what to do, what not to do, and understanding the landscape of, sports right now in general. And that's not just an NBA thing. It's, this is new territory for everybody. So I think on the whole, we all are very responsible. The integrity of the game is fine. And then obviously we'll let the situation play out, whatever happens. But I wouldn't worry about that too much.
You mentioned Denver as a championship-type team and what you guys are trying to build towards. Do you feel like you guys are a championship-type team, or too early to say?
It's game 2, man. Long way to go.
Stephen, is it fun to go blow by blow with a guy like Aaron Gordon tonight when they're putting up 50 and you're coming back, he's hitting them, you're hitting them? Is that fun to have that kind of?
Just the game reveals itself in terms of what you need to do. At the end of the day, he was going crazy in the first half, kept it going, and then down the stretch, like it was, again, decisiveness, just trying to figure out how to get the best shot on every possession. I don't necessarily look at it as, a one-on-one type back and forth battle, but it's more so the game called for us to kind of abandon any, fancy play calls and just get to spots where we could try to pick them apart. And, I was able to finish a lot of the possessions just because that's the way the game went. So talent like that and a game like that rises the level of the whole arena, on both sides. So you kind of feel that for sure.
How cool was it, you ending regulation and then going into overtime, that stretch that you had, but for Jimmy to kind of have the dagger and for you to pull out kind of the night-night celebration for him? How was that moment to have with him?
It's just team basketball, man. Like, the reason he got that shot was because we had kind of been really methodical, possession after possession, and they ran out of stuff to guard, and, him taking that shot was huge. And Draymond last year when we played Minnesota, he pulled the signature move out. I thought Jimmy was going to do it. He left me on an island. But I appreciated the moment because he knows what it means to close out a game too.
Steph, you talked a little bit earlier about that closing lineup with Al in there. How important will that be in the long run over the season to have that option of closing, adding a guy who's 6'9" and can shoot threes and guard a guy like Jokic? It seems like that gives you guys flexibility you haven't had in the past.
That was the vision the whole time. We've played against him. We understand what he did in Boston, Atlanta, everywhere he's been. I still have flashbacks of Game 1 and 22. It's just, he understands what it means to impact the game on both ends. He's fearless as well. So, again, you probably have 7, 8 guys that you could theoretically finish a game with on our team. And it just depends on what the game calls for. And I think he understands on a night-to-night basis to be ready for whatever. And he's seen it all, so you don't really have to prepare him too much for, the unpredictability of it all. He just knows and sees the game so well. Again, we didn't really have a play call down the stretch. It was just get to your spots, figure it out, make the right play, knock down a shot, talk on defense, do what you need to do, and he's really good at that.
Great. Thank you, Coach.